It's Tracy with Cayuga Economic Development Agency and Cayuga County Chamber of Commerce here with today's FAQ. It was a busy day today. Central New York was approved for moving into phase 2 of the reopening plan. So there's a whole new set of industries that have been allowed to begin to reopen with certain restrictions and guidelines. So there's a lot of information, but I'm going to try to at least point you in the right direction on where to find that information. The place to start is forward.ny.gov. And I've been saying this link a lot lately, but you'll go to that site, and on the front page here, you'll see the phase 2 guidance. So you'll want to click there. And this page has all of the guidance for the industries that are now allowed to open, but you might want to start with the overview, which actually outlines what's not allowed to open. So I'll let you read through these. Large gathering events are not allowed still, as are dine-in for restaurants and anything like that. But you can read through these if you would like to know more about what's not included in phase 2. If you think you are included in phase 2 and you identify with one of the allowed industries, you can navigate to the industry that you're covered in. If you just scroll down, there's some underneath the fold here, so you'll have to scroll. Hair salons and barber shops are at the bottom. But if you believe that you are in one of these categories, you can go to your category. I'll go to offices because that's where I fall in, I believe. And each of the industries will have summary guidelines, and then they'll have detailed guidelines that you read and you affirm. So, and then there's also a template for your reopening plan if you have not already written it. So I'm just going to go into this detailed guidelines. So whichever industry you're in, you're going to want to go into this document. You'll want to read it. These are a little bit longer. They're, 10, 11, 12 pages, but you'll want to go in, you'll want to read them. And then when you get to the end, you should actually read them. You shouldn't skip to the end like I'm doing now. When you get to the end, there's a link at the bottom where you will go to affirm that you've read the guidelines and that you've had your plan and you're ready to open and that you understand your obligation in terms of the guidance and the standards. So this affirmation will ask for your business information, contact information, and just ask you to affirm these things. So back on the industry page, these are just some good resources if you fall into one of these categories. And I'm going to scroll back up to the overview. If you aren't sure whether or not you're included in phase 2 or whether or not you're allowed to be open or what guidelines you have to follow, you can use this NY Forward Business Reopen Lookup tool. So I'm going to click on that and show you how to use this. So that'll bring you to the front page of the tool, and you'll hit Get Started. And then this lookup is based on NAICS code. Most of us might not know our NAICS code, so the tool actually helps you find your industry within the NAICS code directory. The first thing you'll need to do is put in your county, so I'll do that here. And then as you scroll down, this is where you're going to search for your NAICS code. So if you know your NAICS code, you can type it in here, and as you start to type it in, it'll give you options. Clearly that was not an option. So it'll give you options and you can select your industry from the drop-down list here. But I'm going to actually show you how to search for your industry too. So if you don't know your NAICS code, you go to filter by category, and this provides a series of drop-down lists, and they start at a high-level industry code and they break down further and further with each level. So this first one is just very high level breakdown of industries, and some of them are a little weird, like agriculture, forestry, fishing, and hunting are all together, or administrative and support and waste management and remediation services are together for some reason. But whatever fits you best, you can start there. I will say that all of our personal services and our salons, our barbershops, pet grooming, all of that stuff is actually under this other services category. So we'll go there because there's a lot of businesses I know having questions right now in those categories. When you get to the next drop down, it breaks down a little bit further, and you can see here it's got repair and maintenance, personal and laundry services. This is where a lot of nonprofits fall. So for our personal services, we'll pick that one. And then it breaks down even further. So this is where you find personal care, death care, that's your funeral services, your funeral homes, dry cleaning and laundry services is here. And then there's another other here. Our hair salons, barber shops, nail salons, those types of things are all in this 8121 personal care services. And when you break down, you can see all of those here. However, one thing is that our commercial massage falls into two different categories actually. So therapeutic, like licensed massage therapy is actually under health services. And then commercial massage that's not therapeutic massage is under this other category. And that one is actually that would fall under these other personal services under other personal services. So all of those commercial massage, non-therapeutic massages in this category, but you also see here under this category, you got your pet care, which is grooming and things of that nature. But we'll go into personal services and personal care services and pick our barber shops and take a look at that. So once you've found where you belong, you'll come back to this page, you'll see it filled in here in this box, and then you'll hit next, and it'll bring you to a page that provides you with the current guidance. Now, to be fair, some of this is still being updated for phase 2, but this is where you can read about what is allowed in your industry. So as you can see here, this one needs to be updated still, but I'm sure that's coming. They're working very hard. And a lot of the industries have a link to the template or some sort of guidance as well. And so we can also just look at, quickly, we'll look at one more. Let's say we want to look at restaurants. We'll come down to accommodation and food services and drinking places, restaurants and other eating places, and then full service restaurants, we'll say. And we'll select that one. You'll see it populated this box here, hit next. And then here you go, here's the guidance for restaurants. So this talks about takeout and delivery services, and this actually links to a template plan. So that's how you use this tool. I might not have hit your industry specifically, but that's how you use this tool to find your industry and the most current guidance. Again, give them a tiny bit of time to update all the phase 2 information, but this is where you'll go to find it. I hope that was helpful. I know I ran through it very quickly. You know, I'm going to go and do my affirmation here in a couple minutes and make sure that we're ready to open on Monday. We'll be back in the office with a smaller staff. We'll be ramping up our staff over the course of the phases, but we will start to get a little bit back to normal. But we're going to have to do all those things that all the other offices and all the other businesses are doing in terms of social distancing, setting up barriers and markers, face masks, you know, limited capacities. So, you know, if you do want to stop into the office, please do call ahead, make an appointment. That will just make everybody, make the whole experience a little bit easier if we know that you're coming. So with that, I hope you have a great weekend, and we are looking forward to seeing you next week.